How to effectively manage conflict in schools. Hello, and welcome to this discussion on effective conflict management in schools. Conflicts are an inevitable part of life, and they can be especially prevalent in the school environment, where students, teachers, and administrators must work together in close proximity. However, conflicts can be disruptive and harmful if they are not managed effectively, and that's why it's important to have strategies in place to address them. Define conflict. Let's start by defining what we mean by conflict. A conflict is a disagreement or dispute between two or more people or groups. It can arise from a variety of sources, such as differences in values, beliefs, or goals, competition for resources, misunderstandings or miscommunications, or personality clashes. Effects of conflict. Conflicts can have a range of effects on the school community. They can cause stress, anxiety, and negative emotions for those involved, and they can also impact academic performance and school climate. Unresolved conflicts can lead to bullying, harassment, and violence, and can create a toxic atmosphere that affects everyone in the school. Effective conflict management. So, how can we manage conflicts effectively in schools? Here are some strategies that have proven to be effective. Encourage open communication. Encouraging open communication between all parties involved in the conflict can help to prevent misunderstandings and promote understanding. Teachers and administrators should create a safe and supportive environment where students feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and feelings. Listen actively. Active listening is a crucial skill in conflict resolution. Teachers and administrators should listen carefully to all sides of the conflict, without judgment or bias. This can help to identify the underlying issues and needs that are driving the conflict. Identify the underlying issues. Identifying the underlying issues behind the conflict is essential for finding a resolution that addresses the root cause of the problem. This requires digging deeper than the surface-level disagreements and looking for common ground. Brainstorm solutions. Once the underlying issues have been identified, it's time to brainstorm solutions. This should be a collaborative process that involves all parties, and should aim to find a solution that meets everyone's needs. Choose a solution. Once several potential solutions have been identified, it's time to choose the best one. This should be a consensus decision, with everyone agreeing to the solution and committing to implementing it. Follow up. Follow up is crucial to ensure that the solution is working and that everyone is satisfied with the outcome. Teachers and administrators should continue to monitor the situation and be prepared to revisit the issue if necessary. Let me share a story that illustrates the importance of effective conflict management in schools. There was a school where two students, Sarah and Michael, had an ongoing conflict that started as a disagreement over a group project. They were assigned to work together, but they had different ideas about how to approach the project. Sarah was more interested in research, while Michael preferred hands-on activities. As a result, they found it hard to agree on a plan. Their disagreement soon escalated into a conflict, with both students feeling frustrated and angry with each other. They started avoiding each other and speaking negatively about one another to other students. The situation soon became toxic, and other students began to take sides, leading to a tense and unpleasant school environment. Fortunately, the school had a conflict management policy in place. The school counselor, Mr. Johnson, was notified of the situation and immediately intervened. He invited Sarah and Michael to his office to discuss the issue in a calm and respectful manner. He listened actively to both students and identified the underlying issues behind the conflict. He realized that Sarah and Michael had different learning styles and needed different approaches to complete the project. Mr. Johnson then guided Sarah and Michael to brainstorm solutions to their conflict. They discussed different ways they could approach the project that would allow them to work together while still accommodating their different learning styles. After several potential solutions were identified, they chose the one that would allow them to divide the project into two parts. Sarah would focus on research while Michael would work on hands-on activities. Once the solution was chosen, Mr. Johnson followed up with Sarah and Michael to ensure that the solution was working for them. He also continued to monitor the situation to make sure that the conflict did not escalate again. Over time, Sarah and Michael's relationship improved, and they were able to complete the project successfully. They even discovered that they had more in common than they thought and became good friends. The positive outcome of this conflict resolution was not limited to just Sarah and Michael, as other students in the school were able to observe and learn from this process. This story highlights the importance of having a well-defined conflict management policy in place in schools. The conflict resolution process involved active listening, identifying the underlying issues, brainstorming solutions, and following up to ensure the solution worked. The school counselor played a crucial role in facilitating this process and bringing about a positive outcome. In conclusion, conflicts are inevitable in schools, but they can be managed effectively if there is a clear and well-defined conflict management policy in place. Encouraging open communication, active listening, and collaborative problem-solving can help to prevent conflicts from escalating and create a positive school environment. With the right strategies in place, conflicts can be turned into opportunities for growth and learning. Thank you for joining this discussion on effective conflict management in schools. Kindly like, comment and subscribe.